Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make more experimental lo-fi hip-hop. And yeah, I'll just play the beat and we'll break it right down right after that.
Center stage on the mic, and we putting it on wax. It's the new style. Never ran with pros in his hand and won't stop rocking till he clocked in a gazillion grand. Tilling the wasteland sands, raps on backs of treasure maps, stacks to the ceiling fan. He rests on these ashes, ask him after 10 miles and his glasses, smashing stashes. Chip on his shoulder with a slip-on holster, a clip, a folder in his grip on a boulder bolster. They supposed to know his show and his aura glow. Get from out the road when he get dull was horrible.
So, at some points of the beat, I kind of get Tyler, the Creator vibes. There's this producer, Choco Kid. He goes by the name Choco Kid on SoundCloud. That a lot of the sounds I used from his kit, and it's pretty similar to that artist as well. Essentially, the beat, everything about this beat when it comes to the drums, it's all unquantized. So we'll start off with the snare. I have the BPM set at 148. It doesn't really matter what the BPM is for this type of beat. You just don't want it going too fast. But yeah. So I have this organic sort of snare. I'd say with this type of beats, they sound really cool when you use more organic drum sounds. And yeah, I put some RC20 on there, just the sampler. Make it sound obviously more lo-fi. And then I set it to none right here and kind of just messed with the time that the snare hits. All the snares pretty much hit like early. Like this snare right here, I moved like a ton off. Like this snare hits like super early. The snare is like early, but it's like later than this snare. Like every single snare hits at a different time, and it's sort of got that J Dilla type of swing. The kicks, you do want something in the beat that does hold it all together in terms of rhythm. So for the most part, all the kicks are pretty much hitting on the beat. And one thing I will mention as well, if you're in FL Studio, do not make, do not make the drum pattern in the sequencer, because there's not a whole lot you can do with that. Because sure, you can delay the drums, but all the drums are gonna hit at the same spot every time. With this, obviously you can change the way it hits every single time. As far as the master goes, all I have is it's just soft clipping like I do for everything. This kick, this is pretty much sort of like a it's like a low, it's sort of like in between like a low punchy kick, but also it's like, it's got a really short decay. What I did for that, you know, took off some high end, boosted the low end, and yeah, pretty simple. It doesn't really matter what type of kick you use for this. Obviously, you know, I think that, in my opinion, this is the best kind of kicks you could use for these type of beats. So yeah, just get really creative with it. Don't do like a generic sort of like trap pattern, like boom, 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 cha, ba, 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 cha. Like, don't do that. Like, see, it's got that like bounce. Just main key basically is just moving in the snares a little bit early. And then we get into the hi-hats here. The hi-hats are pretty crazy. I'll play that. Yeah, so you see, I did actually use, you can be pretty comfortable on these type of beats with using, a lot of variation within your hi-hats. Like, you don't have to stick to the same hi-hat one shot throughout the entire beat. You can switch it up. You can play two different hi-hats at the same time if you want to. So yeah, basically in this beat, basically all the hi-hats are coming in late. They're not really consistent. They have pauses, breaks in between, like, you know, new hi-hats as well, like coming in, like these hi-hats right here. That one's a pretty thick hi-hat, I'd say. It's almost like sort of like if you beefed it up a little bit, you could probably make it into a snare. So yeah, hi-hats, just get really crazy with it, you know. Like, you gotta think outside the box with this type of stuff. Obviously use unique drum sounds. Again, use organic drum sounds. That'll sound the best. Probably not in like a real kick from a real drum, but like the hi-hats and snares and stuff, yeah, I'd say, yeah. And then the open hat comes in every once in a while. Obviously it's delayed, and not like, these beats are fairly simple. It's just about the bounce, and this is what it all sounds like together. So yeah, and then for the main sample of this beat, I think it sounds the coolest when it's a low fidelity piano sample. This one is, personally, I like a lot because it's like the same rhythm, like playing over and over again, and usually with the same sort of like 4 on the floor rhythm sounds really cool when you delay it, and it just, I don't know why, it just makes it be a lot more bouncy. So obviously what I did is I dragged the sample back, not too much, just a couple milliseconds, you know, because the sample was already delayed in itself. Yeah, so that's pretty much the main most important part of the beat so far. And then over here we have this really cool intro that I hear within even just any kind of like boom bap. Like, I don't really know, I feel like I'd hear this in like an MF Doom beat, a Tyler the Creator type beat, like a vocal intro. And then my favorite part right here is, this is actually from a Beastie Boys song. I just recognize it being the Beastie Boys, but yeah. So this is what that sounds like.
Center stage on the mic, and we putting it on wax. It's the new style.
My favorite part, obviously, is that little like delay. I had it like this. You don't want the delay going too fast. It sounds really weird. Like if it sounds like, yeah. I just like it like. So yeah, it's just like I don't have the delay playing throughout the entire intro vocal sample. Honestly, like it could literally be any vocal sample. I think it just sounds cool. Like it doesn't really matter what they're saying. It just has to be like some like dude shouting something, and then right before, you know, the beat goes in, you add this like, I hear this a lot, you add this like delay, sort of like transition, and it sort of like bounces and follows in with the beat, if you get what I mean. But yeah, so here's what it sounds like in context with the whole beat.
Center stage on the mic, and we putting it on wax. It's the new style.
And then we have the bass right here. So I do actually have a sub under it. All it is just following the same pattern. This is what kind of sort of set the Tyler the Creator vibe for me, because it gave me like this Igor type of like sound with that bass, something you hear in like New Magic Wand or What's Good. But yeah, it's a RC20 preset. This was on. I actually turned that off. It was kind of cutting some frequencies I wanted. And then I did a little bit of this. I don't really know what I'm doing with EQ. I'm not the master of that just yet. I did sidechain the kick to the bass with a short release. I'll get into the actual bass itself. The bass is the bass is a Serum preset that is set to mono and legato. It's not a preset within Serum. It's from a Serum pack that I got. You can do the sliding thing if you want. I think it sounds really cool in context with this beat. Try going up and down a ton of octaves. I would probably suggest not delaying the bass on this, but yeah, you can kind of just really get kind of crazy with it, and I'll play the bass right now. So that's the second bass pattern that comes in, and this is the first one. Yeah, try not to get too repetitive. I did get a little bit, but my excuse was for right here is that I had a MF Doom acapella playing, so I didn't really have to change too much. I added this vocal chant coming in. Oh, I'm sorry. So make sure to have sort of like new sounds coming in and out with the beat. And then I'll play this. This is one of my favorite parts. It's like this really cool transition that you hear in a lot of beats like this. Essentially what it does, you cut out the first like beat of the sample, take out the sample, and then you put in this like delayed one shot sort of FX sound, and it's sort of like this like transition effect. Obviously what this is, not much really on it, just playing effects with some delay. If you're trying to do multiple sounds with delay on it, just make sure the delay is like at the same speed. See, it all kind of like, it just blends together. Because also at the same time too, the speed in which the delay is on the sample is the same rhythm as the sample, as the main melody. So yeah, it just makes it more sound more cohesive. And then I have this sound right here. Obviously just another transition sound. And then this, I wanted to create this like ambient type of thing coming in. I have LFO tool. The actual LFO itself is like pushed back a little bit. It's like delayed to fit with the bounce of the entire beat. And then I moved this back too, like this. I moved that back because it makes sort of like a clicking sound when it's like this. So I just moved it back. And then I did this with the mix. I have no clue why, again. And then I sidechained I sidechained this to the kick. And yeah, that's what that sounds like. Again, another one of these one-shot transitions where you take out the sample and you have this sort of like delayed effect sound coming in. And then I added this one little extra sound from a drum fill into the snare that I think sounded really cool. Also like an organic drum sound playing. And then MF Doom acapella, because I thought MF Doom would sound cool on this. Rest in peace. I made his voice a little bit deeper. And this just playing throughout, same sort of thing repeating with a little bit of variation. And then the outro with just the sample playing and the MF Doom acapella with the snares hitting. So at the end of the day, you can make these beats really simple if you want to. Just sort of get crazy with you really got to get down the drum selection and drum sounds, which are more organic drum sounds in this context, as well as the unquantized, like, swing, J Dilla, like, bounce, and what, obviously what sounds you're using again. So, yeah, obviously I think these beats sound really cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know when the next time I'll post another tutorial, but this was fun to make, and I'll see you guys in the next video.